Support crew, man. Welcome back to another episode of Moral Support Podcast, man. It's your guy, Duane, next to your boy, Desi Fresh, man. Let's go. Today, man, we got some heat, man. We got something that's been weighing on us a little heavy for years, actually. So this is an interesting topic for us, an interesting conversation that we're about to have. Just stick with us. We're here for a good time, maybe a long time. I don't know, but I can promise it's gonna be valuable though. It's gonna be valuable, like, you know what I'm saying, and it's gonna be something I think we all need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So, take a seat, enjoy yourself, listen through. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't wasting no time today.
No time, man. We right into it, man. We all business. Was February, Black History Month. You know what I'm saying?
Love,
yeah, bro, love. So shout out to them folks, man, who paved the way for this country and
big time, and
for us, and gave us this opportunity to, chase after what we want and deserve in life. Big shout out to them, man, for real. But yeah, man, yeah. How are you, bro?
I'm great, bro. I'm blessed, bro. Honestly, we in this space, we in our purpose right now, bro.
Don't it feel good, like, to just know we meant to be here, like
therapeutic knowing you somewhere that's you about to fill some other people's cups, and in the same sense, you get your cup filled just by operating within a sense of being that you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
absolutely.
Honestly, I'm jolted right now. I'm overwhelmed.
Bro, I'm overjoyed. I'm moving, man. I'm ready
to stand up this whole part if I needed to, for real.
No doubt.
Like, happens.
That's the energy, bro. That's the energy. Yeah, I mean, same, bro. Like, all I can say, I'm very blessed, bro. Grateful. Yeah. I mean, I love being able to sit next to my brother, bro. Be next to family, and have these conversations and life, bro. Life been, it challenged us in ways that we don't really expect all the time.
Sure.
But it's grateful for it all. You know what I'm saying? And,
got to.
Man, I'm looking forward to just these conversations, like being able to come back here and talk about our experiences and hearing their experiences shared from other people's testimonies and their lives, man. It's just a blessing. But yeah, man. So today, man, what we talking about,
man? Look, we back with another one, and we here, and we gonna let y'all understand the foundation of what we here to do. We're gonna lay the foundation. So this is episode 2, another one. Like you said, we here, we ain't keeping count, but just to let y'all know, we fresh still. We fresh. Mm-hmm. So it's right now, it's a good time. We feel like to lay the foundation of why we here and what we plan to do while we're here. And that is to be an influence, right? We want to influence people, right?
Yeah, I think, that's the word we looking for, right? Influence. I mean, that's what it is.
At the end of the day.
That's what it is. We want to give off some positive energy. And I mean, it's the name of the game, right? Moral support. We try and give some support to people who could be using it, who may be in our positions because we still need it. Mm-hmm. And people who may be going through the same trials and tribulations that we may have went through growing up or experienced in our lives. So, it's like I said, it's valuable and it's love. It's real genuine. We don't want nothing from it. Maybe some feedback. Just tell us your experiences or just talk to us. Have conversations with us, man. Like, this is like, it could be like barbershop talk. It could be, whatever. We in for it, and we just like to listen, and we like, because it's like y'all pouring back into us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all giving us game. Y'all can help us or help somebody else who may be in the comments or watching the pod, listening to the pod, and it's just dope, bro. It's dope to have this platform to just be able to speak and get it all out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we looked for and what we searched for. And as we got older, but as we younger, we didn't really even we had this resource of listening and being able to hear other people's shared experiences or their lives. It wasn't always like a thing for us. So being able to kind of grow up and get into the space now to be in a position to give back and to be that resource and to be welcoming and stuff to the younger generation or even the older generation who may not have experienced quite the stuff that we have and we're here to talk about. And even if they did, now they could kind of recognize what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's super dope. I love it, bro. Like, I love it. There.
So I think it's important to break down, we didn't strive or don't strive to be influential, right? Like, we're not trying to be influencers, but obviously we all have an influence as people. No matter what position you're in, you have some type of influence, whether you're the child, whether you're the adult, whether you're the coach, whether you're the player. You have some sense of influence. So it's like, let's weigh it out really on a scale and see, what does influence mean? And I'm going to go by a quick definition real quick so we can, really like identify and then really break down.
Yeah, pull it up.
Like, really lay the puzzle pieces out.
What the definition?
So influence is the capacity to have an effect on the character development or behavior of someone or something or effect itself.
We do that every day in life, right? Like every it affects us, it affects everybody we around.
Whether you intentional about it or not.
Unintentionally,
yeah, right.
It's just it is what it is. The way you act, the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you walk, everything is being taken in from something else or somebody else. Whether it's your pet, whether it's your kids, whether it's your brother, your mother, your father, it's all being taken in by something, and that leads to the influence that you're speaking of, correct?
That's it. So let's really, take it slow and understand, like he said, everybody has an unintentional sense of influence, and their influence has an impact. So we know influences has many variables on how that can be done. It can be done through communication. It can be done through just through actions. Overall, though, it's usually habitual things that really take a huge influence. So we know what habitual things is kind of something that happens more consistent, more consecutive for that matter. And we want to weigh out those things and see, like, if we're going to do a podcast, obviously, and we plan to be consistent, we want to know what is our consistent impact of our influence. Because if we're coming on here and being intentional about speaking, we need to be intentional about the impact on which our influences of what we say on here and what that does to other people.
Absolutely.
Now, that takes a lot of responsibility. And sometimes we think only people who have titles have influence.
Hey, man, say that again. Yeah.
Sometimes we think people who have titles, only people who have influences. But really, a title just means you're taking responsibility of your influence when you think about it. So when you grab a title, now you have a claimed responsibility. If I'm claiming myself to be a parent, I now have the responsibility to claim myself on how I treat the kids, how I raise the kids. If I claim myself to be a coach, I now have a claimed responsibility of how I coach these players. So it's like, okay, now we have this claim responsibility, but if you're not a coach, if you're not a parent, you're still an influence to those kids. You're still an influence to those players. Yeah. So it's like, we got to understand within the confinement or outside of the confinement of, just because you don't claim a title or just because you have a title does not mean the influence or the impact of your influence is what it's supposed to be. So let's weigh this out on the scale. How potent is your influence? How potent is your influence? When you walk in a room, how easy is it for you to influence somebody? How hard is it? How challenging is it? Is it an effortless thing? Does it take a lot of effort? Are you intentional about your influence? Or are you unintentional? What type of energy and what type of shift do you do to a room when you walk in there? What type of shift do you do to somebody's life?
The word I'm hearing a lot. What is it? Aura.
Okay.
A person's aura, like their energy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And how their energy affect the room, affect the people around them. And I think everybody got this. It's like an aesthetic now to have this aura, have a certain aura. People love having this aura. Like, you know what I'm saying? And depending on what it is, like, so, whatever they want to, I kind of be
it's
identified
about to get good,
as.
y'all. It's about to get good. Go ahead. I've heard it.
But no, like, it's like on, I'm trying, like, an aesthetic from a person is pretty much what I'm getting at. Like, some people want to be viewed as like an athlete or a businessman or a businesswoman or, a hard worker, a gym, fitness, influencer or whatever. Like, people like having that aura of like kind of like they're walking in their space and people can see that from the outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of the word nowadays. Like, it is like it's an influence within itself, right? Because, like, again, now aura being an athlete or having money or, being a model on IG or whatever the case may be, like, that is getting pushed off on the other people. And they're looking at you like that, like, wow, like, I kind of want to, that makes me want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? In some aspects, not all the time. But, it's just a word that I feel like is getting plugged in a lot now. Like, it's kind of like a synonym for influence, I guess, in a sense, because it's like, that energy. It's a synonym for energy, pretty much. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's funny because different eras of our lives. There's always something new, bro. Like, it's always like a new aesthetic.
It's like evolution of it.
Yeah,
kinda. But it's so beautiful the way you put that, really, and it's so good because not everybody's aura is in them. Some people have an aura that is on them instead of in
exactly.
them.
No, absolutely.
And that's dangerous. And we see that, especially with the type of things you just named with like
Fitness
social
influence,
media. You know, those things. It's like, for you to have influence, great influence,
genuine,
sincere influence, it has to be in you.
Yeah, it has to be who you are.
It has to be who you are. When you fake it, it's evident.
It's not like who you identify yourself
as. Come on. It's who you are. Like, what's really in you. So it's like,
hey, that was he.
What? Yeah.
That hit me a little.
What? That's a clip. Yeah. But look, though, but it's so evident and it's scary because we have a lot of people in the lanes you just mentioned who are influencing people of things that is not in them. It's going to be on them. And they're not even, if you didn't even receive it for yourself to take it inside yourself, then clearly it's not something you really want to be or something that you really are. So why influence somebody else to be something you're not?
You're not, but you're trying to push off, but just not really you. Like,
it's not you. So why not figure out who you are
exactly.
so you can influence people to the in alignment of who you are?
And I think it's genuine. But now, I will say, I love it. Like, if it's positive, I love it. Like, if you're trying to influence people in a positive manner, which most of the time it is positive, and I love that. But it also needs to be genuine for them to feel it. Like, you know what I'm saying? When somebody is truly away that they are on the inside, like, people will feel it. Like, people feel you, bro. Like, when you talking to people or having conversations and they're asking you questions about simple stuff that you like, the stuff that you're interested in, and the stuff that you do, like, people can normally feel when you're not really living in that.
That's
like,
the aura, though.
That's the aura.
That's
exactly.
the aura and the energy.
So that's where kind of, I think it clashes sometimes with negative energy, because some people be like, if you're not doing that, if you're not that for real, then don't come try and push it on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, and it's not really respected, like, on everything. It's not really respected. So it's deep, bro. When people really live in it, bask in it. Those are the people I look to. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it could be something that I'm not even necessarily interested in being. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might not want to be a fitness guru or nothing like that. But I respect you.
But you respect it.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, you really like that. I love it, bro. Like, I love that. And that's the people I really tend to cling on to, bro. It's the people. And that title stuff that you was talking about don't matter. I don't care if people know you as... I don't even, like, whatever, bro. Like, if I can look at you and have a conversation with you and I don't feel it, like, and I know that you're not really, like, really deep down invested into that yourself, you know what I'm saying? But you're invested into the image that it brings upon you. I feel like I can't mess with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's a distance. Now, I still support it because it might be positive. I support it from a distance because it's like, it's positive. But I don't feel it.
Yeah, because
like,
it's not, because they're giving something they don't got. You're trying to give something you don't got. You're trying to be this... And we'll just use that as an example. You're trying to be this fitness guru, but your heart might not be really there. Your heart might not really be there, and your practices might not really be there, and your principles might not really be there. Exactly. So now you're probably known to be that, not only off your title, but based off of the things that you preach, the things that you say, the things that you show. But we know, bro, somebody come up to you, I guarantee you don't tell them what they do. They can put a name to it because they see it. They you don't have to tell them about it. Like you don't have to impose anything, any perspective on somebody. Like you can, people walk up to you and they might assume anyway, like, bro, you do this or you do that, you do this, you do that, and it's like, nah, I do it, but that's not who I am. That's not what I am. You know, like people, and you a fitness trainer, bro? I see you do. No, I'm not, but I'm an enthusiast, so I do what I do, and you see that. But it's like I'm not claiming that title because then I'm responsible for everything I say. And I'm not saying duck the responsibility because that's not cool either. But I'm saying if you gonna claim it, then you got to be true to it.
So now this is personal. That was deep. So Desi, you a health guru or you a health enthusiast?
I'm an enthusiast, bro.
Okay. Now, why is that, brother?
I say that with all things.
I'm saying that because I see you show a lot of healthy stuff, healthy eating ways and principles that you should live by if you want a certain lifestyle, right? So what separates you from a guru and then an enthusiast in your opinion? Because I ain't gonna lie, from the outside looking in, as your brother, I'm like, yo, if I need questions about anything, like, I feel comfortable enough to go to Desi, and if he don't personally know, he will find out for me. So
and respectfully.
So is that enthusiast Or is that...
See, enthusiast to me is the passion and the experience. That's what I claim to be enthusiast. Like you do it. Like you're enthusiast.
Yeah,
you
live in
know,
it. Yeah.
You just live in it. You know what I mean? Guru means you studied it to me.
Okay.
If you're claiming yourself to be a guru, you have studied it. And I ain't saying I didn't study
but you didn't
anything.
study it to the point where you're a guru.
I didn't study at the point where I'm going to say I'm a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't claim myself to be, I'll mentor too, because mentoring is experience as well. Mentoring is also not, you don't got a cert for mentoring. You don't have a certification for that. Coaching, you might have a certification for, but so enthusiast, mentor, I call myself to be a provider, things like that. But I won't take that role as, as a coach. Absolutely. Or what's the first word you said? A guru. A guru. I won't attach myself to that because it's just things I got passion for and purpose, but I ain't. There's boys who did 4 years in school for this. There's boys who actually studied this. How dare I claim a title of something I ain't put the work in for? You know what I mean?
So not at least on that level of
to
really study everything about it. Yeah, absolutely.
To respect to them, and then I don't want to deceive nobody and them have them coming to me thinking, with certain expectations what they should get from me, because in the world we live in today, there's many people who do that and they lead off of ego with it, and they'll be like, they're too prideful to say I don't know something, and they'll tell you they'll tell you whatever they want to tell you. Like you said,
Desi's passionate about this stuff. I'm telling you, health stuff. Look, he an enthusiast. But I tell you, this boy, he knows what he knows, and I'm glad that you can break it down like that and kind of like not to cut you off, but kind of like separate yourself from the guru and enthusiast. I mean, to me personally, from the outside looking, I haven't studied health or wellness and all that stuff, so I wouldn't be opposed if you was like, yeah, I'm a guru, because to my eyes, I'm like, he done put in work for it, because I done seen your body change over time, and I done seen that you was righteous to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's who you are at this point, and it's been for years now, you know what I'm saying? And not even necessarily just on the food diet, but just a wellness diet, you know what I'm saying, of living life, in that. Yeah. And bro, I mean, and again, to bring it all back, it's influence. Desi influenced me to live my life a certain way. I don't eat necessarily the same foods that he eat, but as far as the wellness goes, I've been into it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
A little bit more mindful.
Yeah, exactly. I've been mindful of what I eat. I know how it affects me when I eat it, so I already know prematurely, like before I eat something, I already know what it's about to do to me. You know what I'm saying? But before you was on this journey, I wasn't influenced to do anything different but the same normal crappy diet that we've been brought up on. Like, you know what I'm saying? But whenever you started, I'm like, I'm in competition kind of with myself, but really I'm looking at you like, bro, he putting me on for real right now, just by looking at him and seeing the work that he's putting in. So it's respect, but to bring it all back, it's influence.
Ain't that what you want though? Don't you? Wouldn't you rather somebody else call you a guru than you attaching it to yourself?
Yeah, like, absolutely. Yeah,
I mean, isn't that more of an impact of an influence?
I think it shows you, like, it's like a testimony to yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
like, wow, like I really got this to this point where somebody else can see. I don't even have to say it.
It shows the face value.
Exactly.
It shows the face value.
Absolutely. And it's a bit of an ego stroke, but it's something that you put in work for and you earned. You know what I'm saying? And again, back to the whole realm of the conversation, it's all influence at the end of the day.
Can we take it deeper?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So we're talking about influence and talking about food and things, and we got to understand food has an influence. Like, everything has an influence.
Everything.
Food itself is informational to the cells of our bodies.
I love it. Go ahead,
so you hear what I'm saying?
Get scientific with them,
just a little bit. Listen.
Break it down for the folks.
It's like, but understanding that, being conscious enough and mindful enough to understand you're being influenced by all consumption. Music, food, it's all energy too. You hear what I'm saying? We talking about aura. So now there's something affecting your aura. So these are all things that harmonize together and come together to collaborate, and they're all going to take different effects. Some more than others. The variables they vary, but it's like, it's that understanding of everything has an influence. And once you are mindful of that, and then you start being a little bit more conscious and start being intentional, and it's a journey. Like, everything's a journey. You're not going to learn by tomorrow that, cutting this off is going to make me change my whole life. Like, but you'll be surprised how listening to certain things,
a
doing
year
certain
later,
things,
it done changed your whole life.
Do a 90-day lock-in. Do a 90-day lock-in and cut some things out that you ain't.
Your whole life.
I promise you, because you, for one, you're going to limit yourself from certain things that serve certain purposes that you didn't even know until you stay away from them. Until you're not influenced by them.
You know what? What's funny though? You say that is that a lot of people don't understand that your body isn't one living organism.
No.
your organs are living.
Come on.
Your cells are living.
Yes. They regenerate every 30 days.
They're living. These are living things that are getting affected by the stuff that you consume. Your brain is a living organism.
Yes.
There's a lot of different muscles, a lot of different,
Come on.
I don't even know. a lot of different stuff in there that's affected by different things that you can't necessarily tell, like, you can't necessarily control yourself. Like, it's something that it's a byproduct of what you consume.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't go to the gym and strengthen your brain necessarily. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the stuff that you consume does that for you. You know what I'm saying? The food and the stuff that's inside the food that's also living. These microorganisms is what you're consuming that's affecting your microorganisms in your body. Right. Now, again, I'm no chemist or biologist or anything like that. So I can't break it down for the folks,
sure.
Really, but
influence.
But it's all influence. All these little things are influencing your muscles, influencing your
everything, bro. Every cell. At the end of the day, just take it down a notch. It's influencing every cell. And like I said, that's why 30 days, they say 30 days is how you create a habit, because within 30 days is when cells regenerate. So about 30 days, you do something. You lock in to do something for 30 days, you're going to see a change. You're going to see a shift. It may not be as massive as you want it to be. It might be more micro, but I guarantee you the atomic change and compound that's happening is major. And do it another 30 days and then add some other stuff, because it's like once you limit yourself from some things for 30 days and you add some new things, like that's how your palate changes within your taste buds. You create new habits. You get a new a new palate and different taste bugs for different things. I'm not saying just for food. I'm saying like life, like you know what I mean, like life, like you start to desire different things. It's the heart. It's the change. It's the taste buds of the heart.
It's compounded, right?
Absolutely.
You get rid of one thing, add something positive, then that positive want more positive stuff. Then that positive that you already added want to go out and branch out to other positive stuff, and now it's just branching.
Gotta go to the root though, like you said with the branches.
You gotta start at the root. You gotta start at the one bad habit. Cut that bad habit, start another one. Then that might open up a doorway to 30 new good habits.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And small, like very small, minute things that you
typically
do your day to day. Yeah,
they typically are. It's not about, and that's our problem too. So, and we're gonna stay on the influence. That's our problem. We want to attack the biggest thing that influences us and try to get rid of that. Not understanding there's 1,000 or whatever, however many gradual atomic things that's really built. Really going on. Like you didn't gain weight because ice cream, probably. You gain weight maybe because of lack of sleep each night. You know what I mean? Like it'd be that atomic and not gradual that we don't understand, and we want to attack. Okay, I'll stop eating ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't work. You know what I mean? So now
I wonder why.
You know what I mean? There's something else you got to go to, which is probably more effective than the ice cream, really, when you think about it. But we look at the things that are more surface because we don't know the measurement of sleep. We don't know what that looks like for our metabolism. We don't consider those things, and we're not having really doctors and dietitians and stuff in our life who's telling us about that stuff anyway. So, but the influence of the atomic thing based off of the mass thing, it's way more greater because it's more gradual and it's consistent and it's compounding. Like you said, that word is compounding.
Absolutely. So, yeah. All right, man. That's super deep, man. Y'all heard it? Look, I love it, bro.
We took it to food. We took it to consumption.
Walking in your light, man. You walking in your light, bro. I love it, bro. I swear. Like, it's astounding to me. That's all. So let's go ahead and bring this back a little bit. Get back to the core of influence, man. Like on our personal day-to-day. Yeah, on our people and the stuff that we see every day. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff that we deal with every day.
Influence is the tree itself. It's a tree itself with many branches. With
many branches that doesn't nearly necessarily grow until you get older and you start seeing the effects of these these traumas that has influenced your life. And these situations that influenced your life and how that created you to influence somebody else in a certain way, like, you know what I'm saying? And it just branch off in so many different ways, man.
Yeah.
But
what's the next branch you want to hit, man?
No, I just want to talk about just the influence that you have on your people, like on the people around you and how they influence you. And
environment or relationship?
Both.
Okay, let's get into it.
So, I wanted to talk about that, but the people who blame other people, right? I want to get into that for their traumas, right, and the stuff that they go through, which is sometimes is fair. Like, sometimes we go through things that are fair, like to be like, you know what, it wasn't my fault.
Sure.
A lot of things aren't our fault.
Sure.
You know, a lot of things that we go through in life and deal with in life aren't our fault. But they're just challenges that come, and how we deal with them challenges is how we, I guess, deal with that influence of our life, right? So it's like, let me say that because, you know, like,
talking about evolution, involvement,
yeah, bro. So it's just how you decide to deal with certain things in your life can influence the outcome of your life, right? An outcome of certain situations. And I want to say people go through a lot, bro. Sure. Like, people deal with a lot.
We're in 2024.
2024, bro, a lot. Our ancestors dealt with a lot. And you see how that influenced us to this day, bro, from 300, 400 years ago, bro, and how it influences us still to this day, and how it influenced our country, our people to this day. It's deep, bro. But, you know, shout out Black History Month. Obviously, it's not just a month that's being celebrated, bro.
Absolutely.
It's all year round. You know what I'm saying? Black History is all year round. And we see how they paved the way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And how that's influencing us today, you know, to go to the same schools and whatever. So what I'm really getting at with this is to learn how to kind of deal with these scenarios and challenges in life in order for us to give positive influence on the people around us, right?
Okay.
And how we decide to look at things. So I want to say, where was I going with this? So you want to make it practical and give them some ways to walk through the power of what they have by influence. You know, all I can say, bro, is with that is kind of like being genuine. You know what I'm saying? And how you handle and cautious.
What's it mean to be genuine?
What's it mean to be genuine? Really is just to like really come from the pureness of your heart, bro. Okay. Whether it hurts you to say it, whether it hurts you to deal with it, but you know it's for the best. Like, you know, for that person, you know what I'm saying, that you're giving it to. And
that's raw.
Yeah, nah, for real, bro. And I think the way you influence the people in your life, bro, is literally by the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you take care of business, bro, the way you take care of yourself and the things around you, right? So I just want to say, really, and it's not much to it, bro, but don't put your traumas and everything on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because now they got to deal with it. And now how they deal with it might be different, and they might put it on to somebody else.
How do you identify traumas?
Face on, bro. You got really, again, that root word. That root word that you talked about is going straight to the core. You know what I'm saying? Why you act a certain way, why you feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Why you look at the perspective on why you look at something a certain way, and why can't you get rid of that? Why can't you change it? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the best way to kind of deal with these traumas. And I think we can all say that we all deal with some stuff, right?
Everybody
deal with stuff.
Something might not be to the same magnitude as the next, but
absolutely. And I think it's important for us to deal with these, right, before we start influencing our kids, because everybody looks up to us, bro. Like, looks at us as some way, shape, or form. Your kids look up to you. Your siblings, your parents, they all look at you, bro, and how you walk. So I'm gonna pass this to you because I'm trying to think of how, like, in the way that I wanna take this.
I got you. I'll hold it down until you get there. It's a lot there, bro. So I get it. Like, you can get scattered.
It's overwhelming, yeah. Overwhelming.
You can get scattered very much so. So I like to even just be practical and do some walkthrough steps. Like, first, like you said, we got to identify our traumas. Absolutely. Like, you have to identify them, and that's going to take honesty. It's going to take truancy within yourself. It's going to take vulnerability. It's going to take some egos aside, and it's going to take some self-conflicting thoughts as well. Like, you're probably going to go through some guilt. You're going to go through some shame. Don't stay there.
That's a big word, because a lot of people is afraid to confront it.
Absolutely, and you're going to go through it, and you know, blessed be to you if you can do it by yourself versus somebody else. But we're not always that fortunate, because sometimes it takes hurting somebody else to realize that we're hurt. Absolutely. But going to the root. So let's identify our traumas. So if I'm an angry person, I need to identify what makes me angry. Absolutely. I need to go to the root. That's a branch. The anger is the branch. Let me go to the root and see what makes me angry. Go to that. Okay, I see what it is. No, that ain't what make me angry.
But you see the things that could stem from that branch, right? That anger.
It stems.
You know what I'm saying? It could be harming people in ways that, you know, you don't even necessarily realize, right? Until you confront that root. You know what I'm saying? But, you and people see how you handle that anger. If you lashing out on people, your kids see that. People see that on the outside looking in. And they don't even know why. But that's because you didn't confront the root. And it's just, that's powerful, bro.
So that's step one. Mm-hmm. Identifying it, and then going to the root, traveling to the root, and then from there, embracing it. Mm-hmm. Embracing it like, dang, I'm angry because of this. Mm-hmm. Not accepting it in the place of this is who I am.
Now, can you get rid of it? Like just
absolutely. Yeah. Like what you say? I stop a finger? Nah, not a stop a finger. You can't just say you go. Yeah. But you identify it, you confess it. So you're acknowledging it, you're confessing it, you're saying that's a part of me that's not me, but it's a part of me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're not identifying ourselves to be anger. Mm-hmm. Like, no, we're not. We have a part of us that, there's a button there, there's a trigger there, but that's not who I am. So I'm not staying there, and I'm not allowing nobody else to make me think that that's who I am and what I am. You do that. You get to say, okay, let me look in the mirror now. Identify my anger. Now let's identify the behaviors of anger. Let's go and see what about anger or what when I am angry causes me to cuss, causes me to be physically abusive. Mm-hmm. Verbally. What's the word? Punching walls. Mm-hmm. Destructive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, destructive in any manner, I guess. Physically, verbally, whatever the case may be. So, these are all branches of anger. So, we went to the root. Because sometimes we're not always as fortunate to go straight to the root. Sometimes we do got to, look at the branches and see the forth that.
But you know what, though? You got to be proactive about, you might not be able to get straight to the root. When you're already out them branches and you're doing certain things and being destructive in certain ways and stuff like that, you might not be able to go straight to the root. You might have to be proactive about clipping off them branches, right? And clipping off certain leaves because it is tough. But as long as you identify the root, you know what I'm saying? As long as you identify the reason. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you might not be able to dig it up until you identify it, and then you have to work your way slowly backwards.
I like that.
To kind of get it up out of there, right? So
that's practical.
I think you have to you have to be proactive about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me work on not being destructive. You know what I'm saying? In this manner. Then let me take it once you start getting that down, it's a process. It's not built overnight, right? So it's like you have to take certain steps and processes to get to that root. You
gotta go to the root.
You gotta go.
If not, you're just gonna be clipping this branch. It's gonna go right back. It's gonna go back. Clipping it, go right back, and it's going to each time it goes back, it's gonna grow back longer, larger, and it's going to bring back toxic fruit. Exactly. Because them branches got fruit on them. It's just not good fruit.
Exactly.
So
exactly. And bro, that's it. And I think that's very, and some people, again, you can't just do it all at once. No. Bro. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't happen like that snap of the finger, like you say. You got to clip it. You got to work on it progressively. And you got to, again, stay true to it. You know what I'm saying? You got to identify, stay true to it, and understand that's the process. And that's it. And I think that's how you kind of deal with stuff like that. In my experiences, right? It's hard for anybody to just sit there and be like, you know what, I'm done with that. Tomorrow, a whole new person. All that anger and all that stuff's out because eventually you're going to get to a point where you realize it's not gone. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's why it takes a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I got a brain fog, but it just takes a lot of awareness to just be like, you know what, it's still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of awareness and a lot of pride to decide to really embrace it because.
Oh yeah, you got to throw that pride out the window.
You got to. You got to put the principles over pride. And I ain't trying to take the guy's topic, but ET and them, they went crazy on that episode because it's just so real that principles over feelings, principles over everything, really. You know what I mean? So it's like,
absolutely.
Just standing on that. So
your feelings don't matter because they really don't.
They valid, but
you're angry. Like, that's a feeling, that's a moment, bro. You're trying to get rid of that, though.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that just goes to show you that feelings at that moment when you being angry, it don't matter because it's not helping the situation at all.
Right.
It's going to have your lady looking at you crazy, your kids looking at you crazy. It's not helping you in any other way other than get a release. But that release can be dished out in other ways, whether it's through whatever you practice, breathing techniques, whether you want to get spiritual with it, whatever, but certain things help you with that.
Absolutely.
There's forms of meditation and practices that you can have that can get that release the same and more effectively off of than being destructive. You could, whatever it is.
Can we go there for a second?
Yeah,
man?
yeah, absolutely.
So even let's go in the terms of maintenance. We're talking about a tree right now.
Absolutely.
We talked about the branch. We talked about the root. So even I don't want to sail past it, but when we get to the point that we got good roots and now we got good fruit on our branches and stuff, we gotta maintain that tree still. So therapy, you gotta be therapeutic about
what you sent me the other day, bro. You sent me that the sculptures.
Being chiseled.
Yeah.
The
stone sculptures.
Every day.
And, people look at that like, oh, it's a dude. I know. I'm sure y'all seen it somewhere at some time, because I seen it a few years back too. And it's it's an overweight sculpture of a guy who's working on himself, and he's chipping away at the excess fat and the bad the bad stuff for him, and he's becoming more chiseled and ripped and strong and all this and that's not necessarily physically, it's figuratively, right? So it's not like they want you to
I heard it.
It's figuratively, like, so it's like you. And that goes the same for the brain. Yeah, it goes for the habits. It goes for it does have work with the physical, but it's the same principle every time, bro. Like, it's the same step by step, day by day. You know what I'm saying? 1% better.
There it goes. I know I was late for it.
Shout out 1% better, man. 1% better every day. But that's
what it take though. At minimum 1%.
That effort to attack it is that 1%.
So each day, they're giving one little peck, maybe. Ooh, knocking something off. You're knocking something off, and you're intentional enough to know that you're not a masterpiece already. That you need, you need gradual work. You need practice. You need enhancement. So it's like that. So with a tree, you gotta water your tree every day. The tree needs watered every day. It needs attended to in some light. It might not need water. It might need sunlight. It might need, it needs something.
That's what, man. Look, man. Come on, man. That's deep, bro. That's deep. That's so big, bro. Cause that maintenance, it's daily maintenance that it needs, bro. That daily maintenance, 1% better in some way every single day. Like, it needs it. You know what I'm saying? Some things require more than 1%. You know what I'm saying? But it requires 100% effort. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just what people need to, when they dealing with certain traumas and certain things, they need to understand that it's not going to happen overnight. When you're working on your body, when you're working on your mind, when you're working on your speech, when you're working on anything that you're practicing to get better at, you have to chip away.
You ever see a tree grow overnight?
Never, bro. I ain't never see a city get built overnight. I ain't never see a masterpiece of art get painted overnight. You know what I'm saying? Never. These are weeks on end, months on end, bro. Nobody became... I can't say that no more. I can't say nobody became wealthy overnight because, you know what? Nobody became wealthy overnight. Rich, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Wealthy, not so much, because it's more than just money, but wealth. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me the percentage on that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit these crazy parlays and doing whatever.
Hey, if you look at the number on that, though, how many of them sustain that amount of riches and wealth? So that's a whole different topic. But
whole different, bro. But that's the realest.
Everything good, everything that come overnight ain't good for you, and it usually don't stay. It usually
don't stay long. Don't stay long. Man, that's big, bro. But all of this is just the power of influence, bro. Like, it all works within the power of influence. It's the principles.
So one more thing before we close out, I don't know if you're closing out, but just to add on the tree thing too. We talk about going to the roots. Yeah. Because I am be practical enough to, and you can speak to it as if why and why not, and where your head was. But at some point, you took your roots and you planted it in a whole different environment. You went across country. You went on the West Coast.
You want to know what's so crazy about that, bro? So for y'all who don't know, most people who's probably gonna watch this do know us to some extent, but they know I moved out to California, into Los Angeles when I was 19, 20 for the first time. I moved there twice, 2 separate occasions, and when I went out there, I had a lot of bad fruit on my tree, a lot of bad habits. I wasn't in the gym. I wasn't really. I was always searching for better, but not necessarily understanding what was better for me at the time, right? So it's like I didn't really know which direction to go to, but I went out there to figure it out, and I went out there to figure myself. Yeah, I'm a kid, but I went out there to figure myself out and figure out what I needed in my life to grow as a young man and to mature and to gain knowledge. But yeah, I took my roots out there. That was bad, you know what I'm saying? Because the experiences, the habits and stuff that I had was all bad, bro, toxic, So I went out there and I planted myself, you know what I'm saying, there for a minute, and it started growing real fresh, fruit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good habits came out of it. The work ethic, my ability to speak to new people, gain friends, and to network with positive and like-minded individuals, bro, and to kind of seeing life in a new way, like seeing
that exposure.
Bro, that exposure was a whole new perspective on what I seen was possible. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't necessarily exposed to that here in McKeesport. And I love McKeesport to death, man. Shout out McKeesport.
Yeah, we can
shout out to Lunchbox too, man, for giving us this space to, do what we do. But yeah, like, it wasn't necessarily the best place for us to be exposed to positive influences. You know what I'm saying? And out there, man, was nothing but positive for me because of how I now view life and how now I value certain things, right? So I mean, you can definitely, you got to separate yourself to some extent. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be physically, but it could be like mentally, like put your head in a book, you know what I'm saying? Watching certain things, cleaning up your feed from all the pornography and all the fighting, world star hip hop, you know what I'm saying? But putting like positive quotes up there every day, you know what I'm saying? Setting an alarm clock for 7 a.m. or whatever it is on positive stuff, influence. And it's all influencing you on your day to day. And for me personally, moving out to Cali was the best thing I ever did, bro. Like just because of that. It just changed my whole mind frame. Like everything. I know I then understood what was necessary for me to grow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was being watered a little bit different out there.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of sunlight, huh?
A lot of sunlight out in Southern California, bro. It barely ever rained. But it was beautiful on how it influenced me, bro.
But you was intentional enough to take your roots there. So obviously you knew you didn't have an expectation of what you were going to get, but you knew you were going to get something.
But I knew, you know what? I knew it wasn't it. Whatever it was here that was watering me, bro. Sure. Eventually, I got old enough to understand that it wasn't it. I got mature enough to understand that there is more out there, And fortunately for myself, I had an opportunity to do that. Now, not everybody has that same opportunity, but I will tell people that it is a lot easier than they think. You got to sacrifice at some extent. That comes without question. Absolutely. Like, and that's what a lot of people aren't willing to do.
Sure.
They're not willing to really sacrifice. Like they might say it, bro, but they not ready to go sleep on cots, couches, and floors until they get on their feet, bro. Like they not willing to go work 2 jobs, full-time jobs as a 19-year-old or 20-year-old. They want to go, they want to go have fun, which I don't blame at all. My version of fun and their version might be a little bit different. Like I value a little bit of different things, but and you can still have your fun. Don't get me wrong, but your values and your sacrifices got to be major.
You got to balance it all.
It got to be major, bro. And you got to allow these positive things to influence you. Like, how many times have we had people in our lives that we try to be an influence positively, bro, and they was like, "No, I'm cool."
They ain't receive it.
And again, respect, bro. Like, if you want to go do your own thing, figure it out. That's cool, bro. Females too, like just relationships, friendships, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, everybody in my life can tell you that I'm always positive, and I'm genuine, and I always try. I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm faking y'all. That's cap. I'm okay. We call it cap.
It's not in him. It's on him. He's lying.
But no, bro. And I didn't even toot my own horn, bro.
No, because you hear it from other people, bro. You hear it.
It's because, bro, like, I understood what was necessary for me personally. Like, this worked for me. Again, we say it all the time. There's more than one way to bake a cake. Some people just got to live their own experiences and figure it out on their own. Sure. For me personally, I wish I had even more people, and I had some great people, bro, in my life to influence the positive. I mean, what, bro? I can name 20, bro, off the dome, but I wish I had even more in my household. You know what I'm saying?
That's where the impact's the most biggest
in my household, bro. Yeah. To influence me, and man, my mom love her to death. No doubt. What I'm saying? Brother love him to death. But again, they went through their own things. Sure. They couldn't necessarily be that. And they was positive on, to some extent.
But they were influenced by whatever they were influenced.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they, they still had their own situations that they had to work through on themselves, and respect for that. But it definitely, man, it takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of again awareness, bro, to understand that and to allow it. You know what I'm saying? Don't condemn positivity, bro. Like at any level, like don't. If somebody positive to you and somebody genuinely love you and care about you, man, hold them and understand that they just there for you. And it ain't, it ain't conditional. It should not be conditional. Yeah. And that, for me personally, that was big on me. And I try to give that back to people, bro.
That's what we're here to do. But slow it down. You said some people don't receive the influence. Some people don't receive the value.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that with this pod. Some people's not going to receive this. Some people's going to skip past this intentionally. Some people's going to say, nah, I'm good. And that's respect.
I respect it.
I respect it 100%. It'll be here for you still.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever
you need it.
That's it.
Call on moral support. We here. Look,
call on moral support. We here because our job is to deliver. Mm-hmm. Now, we have been intentional enough to make sure and cultivate that we are at a good posture of our trees, of our life, of our influence, where the delivery is way more tasteful.
Yeah,
it's way more tasteful. It's way more just receptive overall.
Absolutely.
Like, and that's,
we understand.
I could be biased, but because I'm sure a lot of people feel like that about themselves. But I'm saying a good quarterback understands how he throws the ball.
Yeah, he's not gonna lead him into Brian Dawkins over there. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna lead him into Ray Lewis. He know where to put that ball.
He know how to throw it. He know where to tuck it. Most. And
if they know the receivers.
If they know the receivers. And that's it.
That's big.
Come on, bro. That's a bar. Cause it's like that's where we're at with it though. And and we don't got a number to everybody out there who's out there, but we know our target overall. We know our target.
We know our target audience. We know who we trying to throw this ball to.
We do. We might not know the name of that person or the number that they got on their back, but we do know we want receivers. Mm-hmm. We want receivers at the end of the day. We want somebody who's going ready to catch this ball, catch his value, and we're not throwing ducks. We're intentional about how we're throwing the ball.
You say we're not trying to throw it to defenders, right?
What? We ain't trying to throw it to the defense. We ain't trying to turn the ball over. We ain't trying to throw no.
We're not trying to throw it to the defense, man.
For what?
Offense only. We want receivers.
We want receivers, and if those who defend, hopefully, the ball can switch sides at some point, and you turn yourself into a receiver because that's on y'all. That's on them. That's on we are who we are by throwing the ball. You pick what you are on the other side if you are on the other side of the ball or not. Mm-hmm. And that's all choices we all make. As influencers, as influence. Like we pick what we are. There's things in our life that we have not received based off of whatever.
I've been on defense before, absolutely.
To this day, you're going to be on stuff. You know what I mean? And that comes with that's a whole different conversation within itself because there's a lot of variables that come with that. Absolutely. What makes you receive somebody? So let's tie this into relationships. Let's just go ahead and segue this into relationships because we know when you have a relationship with somebody, you are going to be more receptive.
Now, what type you talk about? Boyfriend, girlfriend, or
no? Any relationship. We from friends to business partners to
family in there.
Family, absolutely. Family's in there. What's some more things? From coach to player to leader to follower,
teacher
to student. These are all relationships. Yeah. So we all know the biggest thing in a relationship is trust. The biggest thing in a relationship is trust. When you trust somebody, you'll believe 90% of what they say, and without question. It could be some non-logical things like, bro, you said this. Now me and him, we're a little stubborn. So as much as we trust each other, we still challenge each other. You know what I mean? Because we got our own minds. Mm-hmm. But it's all in that, and we always we don't.
But we trust though. We big trust. Yeah, we big trust.
Big trust, bro. But it's like so. Understanding that some people in a relationship, the influence on what you have on them and the influence that they trust you to have and the impact that they trust you to have with that influence, you got to be mindful of that. Yeah. You have to be conscious of
your relationship,
that. Yeah. You got to understand the relationship and then within that, you understand how to navigate throughout that relationship. So again, a quarterback and a receiver, obviously the whole lineup, he don't throw the ball the same way he does the whole lineup. Let's go.
Stop getting into actual relationships with people you don't trust. Okay?
Why would you do that?
Stop getting into relationships with people you don't fully trust. Stop valuing relationships you don't trust, bro. Because there's a reason why you don't trust it, and understand that reason. And
that's scary.
Man, please just stop it.
That's scary.
I bet, bro. Horrifying. Horror stories, bro.
A relationship with somebody you don't trust?
Like how? Maybe that's the title, brother. I don't know, but. That's the message, man. That's the message I just want to put out real quick. Don't get in relationships with people you don't trust. You know what I'm saying? All because you like them, you love them even.
All aspects.
You don't trust them, don't do it.
Don't do business with somebody you don't trust. Don't date nobody you don't trust. Don't. What else? Don't let nobody be your coach. Don't let nobody be your mentor. Don't let nobody lead you that you don't trust.
That you don't trust.
Well, you lead out there.
Yeah, we gonna revisit this one day, cause we gonna revisit that one day. Just keep that in
that's
mind.
heavy. Jeez. Influence.
Yeah, my bad if I threw you off.
No, that's heavy though, cause sheesh. But yeah, so and it's so congruent to what we're talking about because a lot of people we allow to influence is people we trust. So you got your rappers who
can you
look
calm
up
it down for a second?
We
bro?
might be
this
here.
Is crazy.
We might just be here.
That's
might just be here, bro. We might just be going to trust now because it's congruent.
No,
you know what I mean?
absolutely,
it's a brand to this conversation.
Man,
let's go. We here. Trust.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go.
Trust, bro. That's man. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. You put that all together. This boy's a genius.
Baffy.
Bro, math is mathing real heavy right now in my brain.
Bro, because look, let's make it more practical, I guess.
I mean, absolutely. Like, I mean, you trust your parents, right? You trust your friends. You trust them OGs in the hood,
Come
bro.
on.
You trust these people not to put you in bad positions. And like I said earlier, bro, a lot of stuff that happened to you isn't because of you. It's because of the people that you trusted around you that may be putting you and throwing you into bad positions, might be throwing your name under the bus. I promise you, we grew up in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. If you're not familiar, please go look it up. Go Google and see. Then tell me the first article that come up. What is it? Just tell me. It's probably gonna be something about shooting, robbery, something negative. Like it's gonna be something negative. And
don't trust that article though.
Don't trust it. We got great
That's
people
bad
here.
trust.
Yeah, we got bad trust. We got great people here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But there's a few bad apples everywhere.
No
doubt. And a few bad apples, bro, can be people that you trust. And I think we grew up in the hood, bro. Like we have OGs, bro. We grew up with people that ain't have no guidance, just like us. They just older. You know what I'm saying? They just older version. They just older kids. You know what I'm saying? But we trust them because as youngins, bro, these are people you look up to because they're taking care of you in a certain way, and it's a certain brotherhood. You might not have no real family, so they might be your family, and you trust them. You know what I'm saying? Until that day come where they throw that strap on you, they throw that gun on you. You know what I'm saying? They throw them drugs under your seat. They throw, you know what I'm saying? And believe me, I ain't never been in the streets, never been a street dude.
Sure.
Know it though. But we grew up in the environment of, our friends were, you know what I'm saying, and people that we loved. And again, bro, like they was in certain situations. But
we can speak to the practicals of things we did experience. Like it might have not been to that extent where the guns and drugs done on us, but we had bad influences thrown on. We might have had them. We might have had womanizers thrown on us. We might have had, we might have had that thrown on us.
Groomed. That's a big one, man, for young dudes, man. Being groomed by a woman, grown woman, like being thrown on you. Oh, he's so handsome. That's my little boyfriend. You hear it all the time. It seems harmless. It sounds harmless when you're a youngin', bro. But then you see how it really affects you. Like
the influence on
that influence is like, oh yeah, they doing inappropriate stuff with youngins, bro. Like, and not necessarily on a full, scale sexual level, but just little things that influence on how you view women now. You know what I'm saying? Or how you view people.
I trusted you.
It's like almost to a point, bro, where it's like, oh, you don't like being groomed by women, you're gay. Or like
if you're not receptive to it.
They don't really, but they don't even understand that being groomed is throwing them off and influencing them in a negative way, right? Yeah. So, and again, bro, for those who know what it's like growing up in these, environments and stuff. And, it all comes from people you trust at the end of the day. So, like you said, that influence, the influences come from people you trust.
And that's great, bro, because in all, like we said, all influences has an impact, gradually, subconsciously, but the people we trust, those are the influence that we welcomely receive. We actually embrace it. We actually, like, it's not just sitting on our porch. Exactly. Like, it's actually, we let that in our crib. So it's like, once you realize the importance of that, and there's people who we trust who are untrustworthy, and we don't know it as children. We don't know it, and they don't even know it.
We don't know no better, and they not aware that
the ignorance is there because it's what they know. What they know is what they know now. Luckily or blessingly, we're in a world now where we have access to so many different perspectives in life. So it's like.
And you know what? Not only that, we got older, bro. Like we got
mature
fast.
I would say we ain't just get older. We ain't just age. We got mature, bro.
We got mature enough to understand that, bro. That aspect of it.
Yeah,
but
like
again,
this ain't that.
We searched and we sought out.
Had to.
to become mature, intentional, very intentional about becoming who we are now.
Big time.
Right? A lot of people in our environments are still stuck. Just older kids, bro.
Changing but not growing.
They release these kids from high school and they ain't go nowhere after that.
Sheesh.
Mentally.
Sheesh.
They still there.
Sheesh.
So that influence, they think that this poor influence that they had on their lives is actually good influence on the younger generation.
Sheesh. That's a cycle.
It's a cycle, bro. Like that's the worst, and that's the most frustrating part about it, bro. I love my people.
No doubt.
I love all my people, bro. But it's hard to watch sometimes, bro. Like
because you love them.
It's seeing these people become parents though, bro. Like and seeing it on kids, bro, newborns. Like, oh, I went through it, so they'll be fine. Yeah, they could go through it too. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. That is not cool because you influencing them kids to be just like you when really you want them to be better. You want them to be better. So like you gotta push something more positive on them, right? So it's just, it's deep, bro.
To the root.
It's deep.
That's why it's so important to go to your roots.
That's why it's hard. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. And that's the most frustrating part because the root is so deep, bro. It's so deeply embedded into our environment and who we are as people for generations, bro. Like that's a hard root to dig up.
It is.
And so you can't one person digging ain't enough, bro. Two people digging ain't enough. You need a community of diggers to dig that root up.
Sometimes
that thing's under the city, bro.
And the whole forest.
Oh, it's under the whole city. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you need the whole community dang there to dig that root up, and that generation of poor influence. You know what I'm saying?
You know what keeps us going sometimes, especially in a city like McKeesport?
Tell me what, bro.
Like you said, you might have lifted up the whole city, but we see roses grow within the cracks, and we be like, maybe it's good over there. Yeah.
But what happens to that one rose though, bro? Like if nobody's really,
it's gonna be that one rose, and usually that one rose is picked from that crack. And it usually takes itself somewhere else.
Relocated, right?
Relocate, bro.
So now what? There ain't no more roses around?
There ain't no more roses,
There ain't no more roses, bro. And it sucks because that rose go and build a healthy community somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Getting some good soil.
Or they might just go put themselves with a whole field of roses.
They might, yeah. You know
what I'm saying?
Either or. They either go there or they cultivate where, like you said, they might go put themselves in their own plot of soil and then now they cultivate their own roses. But
which is still beautiful at the end of the day.
Absolutely, but it's, we got to go ahead and lift up
this whole
come on, bro.
Thing was filled with roses.
Come on.
And that's deep, man.
We're going to get there.
That's deep. Yeah, we is step by step, man. 1% better every day.
Every day. Yeah. Every day. And it's gradual and it's gradual. It's atomic. And our thing is to be intentional about it. So influence. Realize influence on all aspects, all facets of life. Speak to your entrepreneur in you. Speak to your parent in you. Speak to the son in you. Speak to all facets of your life and weigh them up on a scale and see.
Just an individual. Like you ain't even got to.
You as a person,
you could be completely by yourself with that aura, that energy that you walk with.
Yeah, you influence yourself too.
You know what I'm saying? It influences yourself. Yeah. It builds confidence within yourself, but also it builds confidence in that energy. People around you that you might not even notice. You know what I'm saying? So working on yourself helps everybody else.
Absolutely. That's the only way you can change and help other people is if you change yourself. Bro.
Absolutely.
So be intentional about moderating your influence, and you want to be out here and you want to change the world. Change the person in the mirror. Let's look in the mirror.
The man
in the mirror. Come on now.
Man, Mike Jack, man, that's a go right there.
Man, that's it though. Like, bro, influence. This could be a series.
Absolutely, bro. We could talk about this for days. And people got to realize and understand that each of us have the power of influence. Like,
yes, you have to acknowledge it.
But we all have influence. We all.
No, you don't, bro. You don't got a title. You don't got an influence.
You ain't got money.
You're not a parent. You ain't got money. You ain't got fam. You ain't got clout. You don't got influence, bro.
You ain't got no influence. You only got 200 followers on IG, boy.
Come on, bro. What is you talking? Okay, but go out there and live a real life.
Okay, so how many of them? You have 200 followers on IG. I'm just saying.
Come on now.
You have 200 followers on IG. You influence a good 100 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot better than having 15,000 influencing too. Like in real life. I'm not talking about on social media. I'm talking about real life. We only use social media for people that we can't physically reach or go around. Sure. But if you're not physically reaching people in real life, bro, it's not as that social media life isn't as impactful as real life. So I think, and social media is still a great thing for influence, positive influence. I love them, bro. I love the messages because there are a lot of intelligent people out there, a lot of very wise people out there, and
so are we here.
And happy people. You know, everybody love happy people, but you know, be sure to go outside in real life, bro, and really touch people and really get down in the mud with this influence stuff because you know. But at first, work on yourself. But two, you always have that power of influence, and it's really a beautiful thing once you learn how to really activate it and to really work within it. You know what I'm saying?
It is, and that's what brings you here, where we feel like we can amplify our voice.
Exactly,
because we have been cultivated. We worked on ourselves, and we're still working on ourselves, and we're at a place of our influences now. Nobody's perfect, but our influences now is more of a positive, vibrant than they were in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like we're specific about the people we hang around, even the jobs we take, you know, the works we do. We're specific, and then we're getting more into the foods, into the things we read and the things we watch. Like we're intentional about it, and you realize what has a specific influence on you and what doesn't, and what type of influence it has.
That's such a big word, bro.
It is. It really is. It really, really is, and it's bigger than we can even put in the confinement of an episode because it's literally what runs the world.
Literally,
influence runs religion. Influence runs politics. Money, it literally runs society.
People, like people to the simplest form, like break us down to literally an atom. Everything is influence one after another.
Influence, bro.
And you know, it's special, bro. It's special, and yeah, that's deep, bro. That's deep.
I'm glad we're here to influence and get people moral support, man.
But look, man, please, man, leave some feedback. You know what I'm saying? We love to hear it. Love to hear it.
We want to be influenced too.
We want to be influenced. And, you know, we love it, bro. Like, just please keep coming back if you will. If not, it's cool, man. See you later. I'm sure y'all come back around at some point when we blow up. But, yeah, you know, when we have money so we can really influence.
Yeah, so that's what it takes.
That's probably what it takes for some people. But, nah, man, like, we here, man. We here to stay, man. We giving y'all that heat every time we step on here. It's all genuine, all coming from the heart, man, for real. We love y'all. We appreciate everything y'all doing. Yeah, keep coming through. Keep coming through.
We out until the next opportunity we get to influence.
Man, moral support, man. See y'all later, support crew.